Today on the show, we're going to be talking about Netflix's newest Marvel show, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones?
Jessica Jones! Jessica Jones is the newest Netflix addition to the Marvel Netflix continuity. I don't know exactly what to call it, but I'm loving it, where they're building their whole New York continuity. We first had Daredevil come out, and now Jessica Jones is the second hero to show her face, all about smaller heroes dealing with smaller problems, which are more interesting in a lot of ways.
What's Jessica Jones about?
Okay, so Jessica Jones is all about Jessica Jones. She is a private investigator. She has superhuman strength. She has limited invulnerability, and she is on the case. She's trying to build her deal, trying to get away from her past. She's had a really hard time. Her parents died in this accident. That's where she got chemicals dumped on her, and that's why she has her powers. It's a whole deal.
Is she a superhero?
Well, okay, so she never wanted to be a superhero. Like, she's the type of person who's like, I never wanted to deal with this sort of stuff, you know. But she's trying. Like, she has the power. She knows she can do good. She knows that she can help people. So that's what she's trying to do. She may have her pitfalls here and there, but she has a good heart, essentially, at the center of her being.
How will you prove that this mind controller is real? I'm a private investigator.
So for the New York neighborhood, we have Daredevil, we have Jessica Jones, we have Luke Cage. We may or may not get Iron Fist. I've been hearing some things like they were going to do an Iron Fist thing, but I don't know. It's a little shaky now, so we'll see. And so far, they've introduced the two villains of Kilgrave, also known as the Purple Man in the comics, and also you have the Kingpin, who's my super fave.
Who is Jessica Jones, though?
She's kind of an unlikable character, which honestly, as a female, I like seeing unlikable female characters because every time you see a female character, they're always like these perfect little people.
Well, why is she unlikable?
Well, A, because she's an alcoholic. B, because she has no sense of humor, pretty much, and C, because she kind of hates everybody. So she's a damaged animal, though. She's damaged. Like, she's had this super nuts ordeal, and she had like a really hard time earlier in life. So I mean, she's just got a lot of darkness that she's working through. Next up, we have Luke Cage. I was really excited to see him. He may or may not be getting his own. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure he's getting his own series. Never mind. Luke Cage is totally getting his own series, and I am in full support of it. I love this actor. He brought so much to the character. I really enjoyed watching him, especially like him and Jessica's like thing they got going on, you know, like will they, won't they?
Kilgrave.
Obviously, David Tennant, he was a Doctor Who. I'm not a Doctor Who fan, full disclosure. Like, I've tried. I'm sorry, guys. I know. I've tried. I really tried. But it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. It's fine. But he was one of the Doctor Who's, and he's known and loved for that role. And it was really amazing to see David Tennant in the role as a villain, as Kilgrave. I think he did a really great job with it. In fact, I think that in both of the Marvel shows, in Daredevil and Jessica Jones, the villain has really outshined the hero.
Hogarth.
Oh my gosh, Carrie-Anne Moss as Hogarth knocked my socks off. I love seeing a crazy power lesbian, like, super bitch lawyer in New York. I think that was a fantastic role. She super killed it. I love seeing Carrie-Anne Moss. She looks really hot. Go, girl.
You are a hard-drinking, short-fused mess of a woman.
Okay, so some of my favorite scenes from Jessica Jones, and I would say my ultimate number one, like, favorite scene from Jessica Jones, because I'm a super perv, is Jessica Jones and Luke Cage boning on the bed and breaking the bed. It was so hot. It was just so hot. It was really hot, and I really enjoyed it. Super sex is the best. Like, that's, like, the whole reason to read superhero comics, in my opinion.
This happens in comic books?
You know, well, actually, within the comic books, if you didn't know, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are married, and they have a baby. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen in the show. I mean, who knows? But I'm just saying in the comic books, that's what's going on. I absolutely loved it when Rosario Dawson's character, the night nurse, I think her name's Claire. She showed up. They haven't called her the night nurse yet, but I know that she's the night nurse because I read the comics. Because within the comics, there's a nurse, and what she does is she helps heroes and villains alike. No questions asked. Anybody who needs to be patched up at the end of a crazy fight, like that's what she does. And she was included in Daredevil, and I was excited to see the crossover of her into this series, because you know that they're all going to team up at some point, and it's like super awesome.
Kill you right here and right now. But you won't, because you don't know what will happen when I die.
I also really loved the stuff that was going on with Kilgrave. I loved a lot of his super villain antics that were going on, like the whole like hospital trap setup and the power boost thing that he was doing with his dad, and like going to the club and like testing it out, and then like the whole cut off arms thing going on where Jessica Jones like finally finds him and goes to where he's been at and like finds the dad with his arms cut off and shit like that. And it was like he wakes up, starts talking to her. I was just like, as a huge horror fan, and like I love gore and like fucked up shit like that was awesome. Like more cut off arms people, please.
There's one other out there. His ability was to make people do whatever he wants.
Kilgrave is a virus. Like he's able to control people because he emits this virus. And if you're in his like virus zone and he tells you to do something, you're going to go do it. So if you're around a virus for a certain amount of time, you can eventually build up an immunity towards it. And I wish that they had explained within the show that, like, yes, her willpower did have something to do with it, but it was also the fact that they had been together for so long that her body had learned to build up an immunity towards it. I thought that would be way cooler. And another small thing, and this is small, but within the comics, Kilgrave is known as the Purple Man, and he literally is purple. Like his skin is purple, like it's a whole thing. And you see when his dad injects him with the booster serum, his neck starts turning purple, and I was like, oh shit, is he gonna be actually fucking purple for the finale? And then he wasn't, and I was a little disappointed.
You like mind control?
Jessica, you want to do it. You know you do.
Exactly, mind control.
Here's the thing about being a human being is that we are fucked up creatures, and that like, I'm sure applying this to real life stuff, if this really happened, there would be specific times where Jessica Jones did enjoy herself. I mean, there is a joy in not being free, and like there's a freedom in not being free where like someone tells you what to do and you can just do it, and like you can say like, oh, I that wasn't me, that was somebody else, you know. And so I really wanted to see Jessica Jones admit to him that maybe at some points during their time together when he was manipulating her and when she was under his control, that she did enjoy herself, and how fucked up that is. And that's where her guilt comes from, is because she did enjoy certain things that they did together, you know. And that makes it more of a gray area, and it makes it more fucked up and like more interesting. Of course, the show isn't perfect. Like I said, it has a couple of like little things here and there, some nitpicks. So let me get into my little nitpicks. First of all, I would have liked to see a little bit more humor, like a different kind of humor in this show. I feel like one of the major pitfalls is the fact that it didn't have the right type of humor in it. I felt like we needed a drier, darker sense of humor going on. That was severely lacking in this show. There's a little bit more humor. I would have liked to see a little bit more fun. I'm so excited to see a Marvel show with superheroes where it's not on ABC, where they have to be all prim and proper and like, oh, it's network TV, we gotta make sure your parents are happy when they watch it, you know, because that's the only people who have cable anymore, is like old people. So it's wonderful on Netflix to see like cursing and drugs and sex and like real things. They can be more real on this show, and I really appreciate that. So in conclusion, I had a lot of fun with Jessica Jones. As I said, it's not a perfect show. I would like to see them tighten it up in season 2 a little bit, tighten it up. Another wonderful thing on our website that you will totally love for all my cinephiles out there is that we have recently added a bunch of commentaries on all sorts of crazy movies on our Vimeo profile. You can, like I said, you can find them on our website. We've got The Running Man, like Willow, Robot, what's another one that we have?
Kickboxer.
Kickboxers coming up soon. Die Hard, I think, is on there. So it's one of those deals where you need to get the movie yourself and like have it and play it at the same time. But yeah, if you're totally into that, like let's watch a movie together, bro.